Hey, what's going on there, folks? It is Earthmaster, July 25th, 2018, 2:34 p.m. here on the West Coast, where it's scorching hot. I'm not even joking, folks. I thought yesterday was hot. Today is even hotter. Just real quick, looking at a high of 111 today here where I live. It's already 102, and it feels like 110. So a little bit of humidity out here where I'm at, and it's horrible, man. 114 tomorrow, 115 the forecasted high temperature, and that's just brutal. We're underneath an excessive heat warning from the National Weather Service once again, so yeah, it's miserable. Luckily I'm inside where I should be, away from the heat, and trying to stay cool, that is. A little bit of earthquake activity to talk about. Of course, yesterday we seen the activity off the coast of Northern California here, where we've seen 5.6 being the largest earthquake in a sequence of earthquakes there off the Gorda Escarpment region, just off the coast of southern Oregon and also Northern California there. Also, they had a multitude of 4s and another small 5.2 there occurring. More recent 2.6 showing up there. We'll get to that here in just a second. A little bit of activity occurring all along the plate over here, Pacific plate, I guess. We're close to the Pacific North American plate, right along the San Andreas Fault, I guess, somewhere around there. A little bit of activity occurring just south of Southern California. Can't really see it too well on this map, so I'll go ahead and take you over here to a different view real quick here. Hold on a second. Okay, if you guys can see that here, hopefully that's broadcasting, which is not. Let me go ahead and do it this way then. I've been having a couple problems with my hotkeys there. Looks like I may have just got it fixed there, hopefully. Anyway, and also the stream went offline sometime early this morning. I'm not for sure what happened. It was off for an extended period. Here's the most recent index map of earthquakes here in California. This here is all magnitudes. You can see this little earthquake just off the coast of Northern California, off southwest of Eureka. 4.5 being the latest earthquake there that happened last night, late last night there. And the activity occurring in Southern California, well, south of Southern California, not showing up on this map. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the USGS map here. This here is 7-day magnitude 2.5 and above. You can see all the clusters of quakes that are occurring yesterday off the coast of Northern California near the Gorda Escarpment region, right about in the middle of it there. We're still keeping an eye on that. Also, that 4.5 that occurred late last night was this one right down here, right in the conjunction region here of the Mendocino Fault and the Cascadia subduction zone region over here. Mega thrust, so to speak, in that area. So you know, we're definitely keeping an eye on this region here whenever we see any type of moderate activity, and I call this moderate because earthquakes ranging up in the 4 and mid 5 range is fairly moderate, especially when you have a large cluster of them like we seen yesterday. Today a little bit different, a little bit quieter, although we are still keeping an eye on it. Most of the activity down here south of the border region, you can see near Baja California area, having a little bit of earthquake activity. I guess it was felt down there in San Diego region. This 4.2 was. And it looks like they're having a couple smaller aftershocks down there, but this is what I'm keeping an eye on. If we happen to see any type of swarming near the Salton Sea, this has always been an interesting topic here, because most scientists and most professional people tend to think that this area down here, the southern section of the San Andreas Fault Zone, is the one that's going to pop, and that is wound up the most and could produce a pretty good sized earthquake, upper 7s, so to speak, in this area, depending on how much of the rupture occurs along that San Andreas fault system here. So little 2.7 occurring at about 3.3 kilometers below the surface. Nothing big, but as always, I like to keep an eye on it. It could turn into something, could turn into some type of swarm. We will watch it. Speaking of swarms, Yellowstone National Park has been having one today, and it looks like it's back in the region where we've seen it before in the past, on the northwest corner of the park. Over here near YMC Station, Maple Creek, Purple Mountain area with the west boundary, the west entrance over here to Yellowstone National Park. Pretty much that's the epicenter of where it's occurring once again, and it's no different than what we've seen in the past. It's been a couple months though since we've seen this type of activity. And I do have a station pulled up on my seismographs here that is monitoring it, and that's going to be, let's see where the station is here. Here's Mendocino. Okay, that's going to be this station right here, Yellowstone, Wyoming, Madison 207. This here is the station that's closest to the swarming activity. If you notice, within the past couple hours here, it's been fairly quiet. It's kind of dwindled down a little bit, but as we see with swarms, they tend to stick around for a little while, sometimes months at a time. Sometimes they'll just give a little show, so to speak, like a few fireworks, few earthquakes, and then they'll just disappear. So we'll keep an eye on it during this quiet period, see if it happens to come back or not. But if you're like me, I've been getting tons of text messages from the USGS in regards to the earthquake activity that's occurring at Yellowstone National Park. There's nothing big, nothing of the fear-mongering type, just some smaller activity. And I'm going to mention that real quick on social media, on Facebook more specifically. There's a post going around about a Yellowstone fissure being opened up, and that they're evacuating the park, and it's 100 feet long. Well, it's not necessarily anything to do with the volcano, with the super volcano. It's got to do with the national park there, just to the south. Was it Teton National Park? Hopefully I pronounced that right. I don't really pronounce that word too often there, but that's where it's occurring. It's kind of in the rock slab, and that occurred here a little while ago. I'm wanting to say a week or so ago when this occurred. And it's just a crack. It hasn't grown any further, but it is closed off to the public, and I'll see if I can't get some more information on it and see any updates. But it's nothing to worry about. Like I say, there's a post going around on Facebook that Yellowstone's getting ready to blow, and it bugs me because it's not getting ready to blow. Okay, how do I know that? Well, I mean, I get that question all the time whenever I say it's not going to blow. My response to that is we would see enormous earthquake activity in the swarming or in the Yellowstone area. Besides these little rinky-dink 1s and 2s that they're having right now, we would see some large 4s and 5s occurring, maybe some 6s, and it would be consistent for probably months at a time before it blew up. So these little bitty, earthquake swarms are just part of, the world, part of the plate tectonics and everything else that goes on there at Yellowstone. So please ignore that post and unsubscribe from any people and any pages that may broadcast that warning that Yellowstone's getting ready to blow, because it's not, folks. It makes me so mad that people fearmonger. They use clickbait. They use these false websites that bring subscribers to their channel, and they get clicks on their ads, and they make revenue, and it just bugs me because it's all fake information that channel happens to be broadcasting out there from an unverified, unreliable source. So if you want accurate and true information, I ask that you please stick around on this channel. I may not get on here on the mic like I used to as much as I want to. I really, it's hard to, especially when I have a day job. But I do try to get on here when I can, do update videos, and post any relevant, true, factual information to the viewers and subscribers out here. That's why I have mods on the channel. They're very helpful. with debunking all these little fake stories and stuff that's going on social media. We try to produce factual information here. We don't blurt out something and without backing the information up. So anyway, with that being said, once again, take a look at, well, we already checked out that map. Real-time trimmer. I wanted to show you guys a real-time trimmer map real quick. This is trimmer detection underneath the Cascadia subduction zone. Now, if you notice, pretty quiet right now. This here is just the hourly map of the last 3 hours. Only one little trimmer being detected there in Redding, California. Going back the last 2 days, I should say, shows a pretty good cluster of quakes off the main area where we normally see. Up here, Vancouver Island is where we've normally seen the activity in the past. Now kind of shifted down here into Northern California, Southern Oregon, and also some parts of Central Oregon there where we haven't seen activity before. And this could have a little bit to do with what we're seeing on the surface there, or on the off the coast there at the Gorda Escarpment there, with those series of earthquakes occurring yesterday. You know, we could be seeing some more pressure being applied and some subducting underneath these in this region here, some subduction going on, leading to the increase in pressure in the Gorda Escarpment region. So when we have the pressure being slowly, this is not earthquake activity, but nonetheless slippage, slow slip events. Whenever we see some movement on a large scale like this, a pretty good section, right off the coast here is where we could be seeing some increase in pressure where that Gorda Escarpment series of quakes is occurring. But like I say, over the past day or so, it has calmed down, and so has the activity near the Gorda Escarpment as well. So I think these two are somewhat related. We don't always see activity like this. Whenever we see a good size subduction tremor motion being detected, we don't necessarily see earthquake activity kind of there at the surface. So it depends. So we're still keeping an eye on it, and we'll see what happens. Like I say, any kind of activity, any kind of moderate sequence of events that are occurring near or on the Cascadia subduction zone is scary. It's definitely worrisome, but nothing to panic about at the moment. So other than that, folks, got live data going on. Earthquake 3D also running. Last 24 hours of earthquake activity from the USGS 2.5 and above, and also earthquake activity from the EMSC website as well. Let me double check and make sure that is listed underneath here. Go to feeds. Yeah, that's also on there as well. So other than that, hope everyone's staying cool out there. If you are, well, I guess anywhere here on the West Coast is pretty hot, unless you're on the coast. Specifically on the coast, I think they got highs in the 60s and low 70s, but here, California, here where I'm at, 111 today, 114 tomorrow. Yay. Alright folks, peace out. Once again, thanks for watching, and hope everyone out there has a great day, and always be prepared for anything out there. Peace.